They said Rome had fallen. With only 5,000 men. He crossed the sea to rewrite history. Not just to conquer, but to restore. Heroes cast long shadows. Part 2. What had been a carefully laid trap became a rout. Gelimer's forces fled, broken. Carthage stood vulnerable. But victory had not come easy. Belisarius himself had ridden to the front lines, sword in hand, rallying men who wavered. He was nearly unhorsed. His wife Antonina, traveling just behind the army, heard the clash of battle in the distance and feared the worst. Still, discipline and adaptability won the day. Roman banners waved over the battlefield as the sun set, the smell of blood and dust heavy in the air. The path to Carthage lay open, but so too did new dangers. Could Belisarius hold a captured capital, surrounded by enemies, with just 15,000 men? And would Gelimer accept defeat, or plan something far more desperate? The gates of Carthage did not fall to fire or steel, but to discipline, diplomacy, and the unexpected grace of Roman restraint. After the crushing defeat of Gelimer at Ad Decimum, the Vandal capital lay exposed. But when Belisarius and his men approached, they did not find a city ablaze with vengeance or panic. Instead, they found silence, followed by cautious acceptance. The citizens of Carthage, weary of instability, opened their gates not to a conqueror, but to a liberator. Unlike so many generals before him, Belisarius forbade his troops from looting. His orders were absolute. No pillage, no fire, no violation of the city's sanctity. When his men, drunk with anticipation, began to scavenge in the outskirts, he struck swiftly, publicly punishing the offenders. The message was clear. Roman order had returned. In the days that followed, Carthage witnessed a transformation, not just of rule, but of spirit. Grain was redistributed, temples were left untouched, and churches aligned with Constantinople's orthodoxy were restored. Belisarius even reopened the city's baths to the public. Small gestures that spoke volumes. As Procopius observed, the people of Carthage rejoiced, as if receiving back a long-lost inheritance. Then, in an act heavy with symbolism, Belisarius ascended the very throne from which Gelimer had ruled. It was a moment more theatrical than practical, but its message resonated like thunder. The old kingdom was gone. The Roman eagle flew once more above Carthage, but peace rarely lingers long in the shadow of conquest. Far across the sea, a new storm gathered. Tzazo, Gelimer's brother and the commander of the Vandal garrison in Sardinia, had just crushed a rebellion there. Hardened and ruthless, he returned with a seasoned force, landing near the coastal city of Hippo Regius. Gelimer, though broken in pride, was not broken in will. The two brothers now joined forces for a final, desperate counterstrike. Their target was clear. Carthage must fall. Inside the city, Belisarius prepared for what he knew would be a climactic confrontation. Yet his confidence never faltered. He strengthened the city walls, gathered intelligence from local allies, and maintained iron discipline among his ranks. Carthage, once the crown jewel of the Vandals, was now the stage for their last stand, and for the final test of Belisarius's genius. What would you have done in Belisarius's place? Strike first before Tzazo arrives, or fortify and wait behind city walls? Do you think the people of Carthage truly embraced the Romans, or merely feared the alternative? History was now balanced on a blade's edge, and as the drums of war echoed beyond the city's gates, one truth became clear. This war was not yet over. 3 months after entering Carthage, Belisarius met the final challenge of the Vandal campaign. Near Tricamarum, the Vandals, now led by Tzazo, Gelimer's last hope, mounted a desperate resistance. The battlefield was brutal, but Roman discipline and strategy prevailed. In the thick of combat, Tzazo was struck down before his brother's eyes. Gelimer, witnessing the death of another sibling, broke. He fled to the Numidian mountains with a small band of loyalists, hiding among the rugged hills. For weeks, Byzantine forces searched, until one of their envoys found him. Exhausted, starving, and shattered by grief, Gelimer surrendered. It was over. After more than a century of Vandal rule, North Africa was Roman once more, and Belisarius, he did what few conquerors ever could. He refused the crown of Carthage, choosing duty over ambition, and awaited Justinian's orders with quiet discipline. The Vandals had fallen, not by overwhelming numbers, but by superior command, precise timing, and a general who won with both sword and restraint. But was this truly the end of the Vandals, or just the beginning of their memory becoming legend? And how might the map of history have changed if Gelimer hadn't paused at Ad Decimum? Belisarius returned to Constantinople not merely as a general, but as a legend reborn. In a city that had seen countless triumphs over the centuries, this was something different. For the first time in 500 years, a triumph was granted to someone other than an emperor. Justinian himself awarded the honor, recognizing the magnitude of what had been achieved. The defeat of an entire kingdom by just a few thousand men. Carthaginian treasure, long thought lost to Rome, now paraded through the capital. The defeated Vandal king, Gelimer, walked behind the victor, a crownless captive who whispered words from Ecclesiastes. Vanity of vanities, all is vanity. What thoughts raced through his mind? Of fallen dynasties, broken faith, or the fate of usurpers, remained known only to him. Belisarius had done the unthinkable. With just 5,000 cavalry and iron discipline, he had reclaimed one of the Roman Empire's wealthiest provinces in a mere 6 months. His victory was swift, decisive, and above all, humane. But within the imperial court, whispers began to spread. Some claimed he sought to found his own kingdom in Africa. Envy would prove to be more dangerous than any barbarian king. Could Belisarius survive not just war, but politics? And would his greatest threat come not from the battlefield, but from the palace? Tell us, do you believe his humility was his strength, or his downfall? If this story stirred something in you, don't just watch history. Be part of it. Like, share, and subscribe for more untold epics from echoes of the past.